Anyways,
it is totally what you.
So, and I think that they're coming back to the webinars thing full circle. I think there's what I've noticed with my professional career, I put that in air quotes because I'm not really professional. Somehow I make money for playing on computers. I think there's two different types of personalities I've seen. I don't know why I always do binary things, but it helps me process. I've seen people who are like a creator and an instigator and a starter and like agent of change, whatever kind of buzzword you want to use. And that is me. And I understand myself to that. Mostly, I'm working through that. But I understand myself that I love starting. So, hey, no, do it. Okay, cool. I want to figure that out. I want to be that like explorer. And if it fails, fine. I'll figure it out. I'll see what didn't work. I'll make that better. And then you contrast that. There are people who are like, I would say, maintainers or sustainers. Operational people.
Is that Anton?
Anton is a lot more stable than me in different ways, yeah. And we balance each other out because I'm more comfortable doing certain things than he's not. Yeah. And so I'll start something and then he's able to take it to that next level. And I think as a way I look at it from hiring, when I'm doing hiring at sumomi.com, like that plug. Actually, I heard this. If you're ever speaking on a podcast or on stage, you have to mention whatever you want to talk about 7 times. Oh, Someone told this to me once, and I just always try to do it. So if I'm ever speaking at an event, no, I think that was like 3 by now, actually.
Oh, about hiring?
About sumomi.com.
Oh, about sumomi.com. Okay. 5. I thought it was specifically about hiring and recruiting for sumomi.com.
6. We are hiring at that company.
At sumomi.com?
Stop. That was 7. Now we can stop. But anyways, now that's a tidbit that people now, when they're doing a podcast or speaking in public, they're like, I got to mention it 7 times. Nick Holland taught me that one. Now Nick's going to promote the podcast. So one thing that I do, one of my favorite questions one of my most important things I'm doing when I'm interviewing, and we are interviewing a lot, is I look for how long their jobs are.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's almost the first thing I look at. I'm like, in the past 2 to 3 jobs, how long were they there? Because this millennial generation, which I'm like at the tail end of it being 30-ish, most people are like 9 months, 6 months. And I just instantly will never hire them. Like 2 people in our company, and they had like extenuating circumstances we've hired, and they're amazing. Shane and Mark are dope. But for the most part, anybody there that's less than a year doesn't really, I think, complement my personality and the style of the business, where I'm looking for people who don't want jobs but want to love what they do.
What's funny is your jobs you probably had for like 9 months when you were working.
Yeah, most of the jobs when I was working on someone else's team were Facebook was 9 months, Mint was 9 months. I did, Facebook games and payments for games. I was like a year-ish. Yeah. But,
it wasn't your destiny, anyways.
No, it was not. And then Sumo Group, where I love Chad, my business partner, and all the rest of the team. I'm doing it 6 years now, over 6 years, longest job I've ever had. But I look for people that they've already shown evidence that they'll stick around on something. Yeah. And that compliments me because I'm happy to start new things and then find people who are a little more comfortable helping continue it.
The same way that you're doubling down on the things that are working in your business, you're sort of trusting that, if this person can dedicate themselves to something, then they can dedicate themselves to something in this business. So,
like sometimes I feel it's good and bad that people don't leave our company. Like people don't really leave. Yeah. But it's also because I think we have a lot of fun. We're working on something purposeful. People get paid well. I do almost anything in my power.
Do you have like open conversations with those people? Like, hey, what's your ultimate thing? Are you going to leave someday? And how can we make that transition good? Or
it's an interesting trade-off, right? Because I think some of the best people are that, right? Yeah. So it's interesting. So it's like dating someone that you know is going to break up with you. Yeah. So I'm actually looking more for someone I'm marrying. Like I think hiring is almost identical, very parallel and identical to hiring and dating. It's almost the same. Like you have to go through a lot of people. You have to understand what you need. You have to understand like what kind of chemistry and what kind of things you want. But I think I generally look for people that are looking for something long term, and I've already shown that they can do that. Mm-hmm.